morning serves. This is Sergine with your morning update in the afternoon. This is Sergine, and joining me today, we have Dr. Sun Liew, who is running for office in California. We're going to find out all about her and why she decided to run. Welcome, Dr. Liew.
Thank you so much for inviting your show.
And I guess let's start off by having you tell the folks a little bit more about yourself.
Oh, yeah, I am running for U.S. Senate in California. I'm so thankful for this opportunity to talk with your audience. If you someone who wanted to know about more of me, visit www.senate.org more deeply. Myself, I'm a pastor and profit founder as well as several company CEOs. Yeah, I do in fintech company, credit card processing, real estate investment, brokerage and management company CEO. As well as I am the legal professional company CEO. We do legal service as well as immigration consultant. And I have a business school, a non-profit Bible leadership tech business school, Meridian Institution Technology, as well as Meridian Business Legal Investment Research Foundation, as well as Global Jesus Mission Church senior pastor. I have 3 non-profit I'm running. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Okay, lots of stuff there. So what district are you running for? Where do you live in California?
Oh, yeah, I have been run for U.S. Congress. We have District 3rd since 2019. And two elections I run U.S. Senate. Senate actually does not have the district. As well as I had a 2024 run for same U.S. Senate. We don't have a district, but only Congress has when I was running.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. That was, I thought you were running for Congress. You're running for Senate. Okay.
Yes.
Got it. Well, where in California are you located?
Yeah, I have been many years in many areas in California, from like Los Angeles, Beverly Hills, and as well as North California, Sunny Valley, and San Jose, Silicon Valley, as well as many years in Beverly Hills. But I have several businesses in Beverly Hills and Victorville, so I have 2 offices as a U.S. Senate candidate office in Beverly Hills, main office, and as well as Victorville office, yeah.
Okay. And how long ago did you decide you were going to run for office?
Before I running office, first I've been like a non-profit founder. I dealing many other issues, but I had so many people in surround the political leaders in motivation to me to learn. So been like almost 7 years, 8 years, as well as my family had a background all the political. So when I grew up in even young age, I was thinking one day I want to support country as political leader. I looked my life map, my age 49 years. I was going to learn some office, but I forgot. But however, exactly 49 years old, I was learning U.S. Congress. Yeah.
Got it. Well, I'm sure people hear your accent. So where are you from originally?
Yeah, I am from South Korea, and I born in Andong, very scholars, areas as well as political areas. In my Andong countryside, there had a 4 presidents born and grew up, like 1 hour's area in Korean president all grew up that area. So my countryside in Andong, very political areas. Yeah.
Okay. Very, very good. And then what year did you come to the U.S.?
I came to year 2095 after graduation lottery from my master's degree in Anyang University Theology School. I was a pastor, education pastor. My school, university is very biblical, very conservative. The who founded my university, who really supporting Ronald Reagan's president, the day his ceremony president, he was preaching and blessing. He was founding our biblical, our theological school, sending me to go to the, England or in the United States. I choose the United States coming to as a pastor, and they wanted to me become professor in our university. So I have many people, professor and school like chairmen, sent to me here to his friend, church in Wilshire and Normandy. There is a big Wilshire church, and I came here, and as well as I came here as a student in Cal State, Long Beach, English literature. Yeah.
So I missed, was it that you said 2000, what year? 2004?
1995.
Oh, 1995. Okay.
Yeah, about 30 years. Yeah, 31 years. Yes, years ago. Yeah.
Got it. And then, so you were working on your master's at that point, or your doctorate?
I graduation master. My graduation certification is 1996 graduation, but I finished earlier than 1996. So my school sent me 1995 to the here. But anyway, I already finished before that.
Oh, okay.
So I finished and then come to America. Yeah.
Okay. And you have a doctorate right now?
Yeah, I have several doctoral degree. I have a PhD, sales and marketing, as well as a PhD biblical preaching, as well as a doctor business administration, international business, IT, e-commerce. As well as I studied at the Harvard Harvard Business School, and the Harvard Graduation Education School, like Harvard Graduation Education School, as well as Harvard Kennedy School graduation. I studied at the Harvard Business School 3 years. Kennedy School is 2 years, and graduation school is 2 years. As well as law school, computer science for attorney or legal professional. So I had a study at the Harvard law school as well as, and then I studied Abraham Lincoln Law School and Judy doctoral course, as well as several Pacific Law School. I studied paralegal and LDA and legal professional courses as well. Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of different things. So were you planning on being a minister that whole time, or were you trying to figure out what you wanted to do in the future?
Oh, yeah. The thing is, my age, 1999, my age, the year of 1990, my age, 19 years old, I already started my bachelor degree seminary in theology school. And I studied as an assistant pastor, and I become like a pastor. And my life is, until now, it's a pastor. That is my living purpose of serving God and community. All things, another thing, school, or business, all things just extra God's blessing. So I am, good things I can do all other things to supporting God and community as well, business and nonprofit, not only through church. So, my main is, as long as I'm living in the world, I will do my first job is pastor. But whatever God plan, our life is for God, right? So God plan as politics, or God plan as educator, but God plan as any other professional jobs. He allowed me to support America and God, or I will just obey. Yeah, that's my main philosophy. Yeah.
Now, you're running as a Republican in California, so that's got to be a little more difficult than being a Democrat in California. How? I guess let's start with: have you always been a Republican? Have you been a Democrat previously and then changed to Republican like some people? What's been your political stance over the years?
Oh, yeah, I have been independent too. People learning U.S. Senate 2019, but I was very, impressed. President Donald Trump. That time, President Donald Trump was impeached. So many happened in my district. Congressman is Ted Lee was against, many other Republican leaders, especially Donald Trump. So I was thinking, is Donald Trump is businessman, never had a experience. And he's a construction and developer. My grandfather was a construction developer. He's all the pre-A seaport he built. So I had a common background that as a businesswoman, I see our great President Donald Trump, how even businessman able to be a best political leader. So I was very impressed his achievement during those Donald Trump achieved, as well as he was spoke many times, as well as myself. Very interesting is the California Republican Party platforms. They always support education, support freedom of choice of health, as well as a lot of economic growth, innovations, as well as reform, a lot of safety and working family, homeowners, and many policies for supporting farmers, ranchers, and as well as many, they are really talk about the integrity of elections. So all the California Republican Party platform make me, I like conservative. I like biblical value. I like those Republican identities. So become independent to become like a Republican. Yes, but I never been Democratic yet.
Mm-hmm. So you were just less political in the past, and then in 2019, about 5 years ago, you started becoming more political. Is that correct?
Not really, because before I learning Congress, I was learning Los Angeles City Council. I was learning Beverly Hills Commissioner. So I've been because I've been not just that time political. Before that, I see many my local issues is like homeless issue. That was a motivation to me because 2018, we have a special situation in Koreatown and had a homeless shelter built about many people. They fight against build a homeless. That time, I'm a pastor. I was motivation to why people does not want to shelter in that area. I was a nonprofit founder as well, so I was deeply researching those, homeless issues. So even I was in Beverly Hills. That district is, I think, District 4. That who was David Yu, Korean David Yu was learning city council, and I wasn't learning, but I did not learn completely because of I changed as Congress because so I don't want to against my Korean who already been city council. So I just support him and I learning Congress instead, as well as I am more interested in federal level than local level. But I always dealing like meeting neither city meeting and Beverly Hills had a beautiful meeting every week. We have a meeting in Beverly Hills, the city mayor meeting. We are learning with the city mayor.
I think you hit, you went mute temporarily there.
Oh, yes. So
I'm missing like the last 30 seconds, whatever you were saying.
Yeah, the things is the mayor, we had a meeting every weekly that time, especially need the mayor, worker need the mayor, and sometimes Los Angeles mayor coming as well as join. So I had a little bit warm up before I learning for Congress. I will join many years meeting for Beverly Hills political. Like they asked me to learn for commissioner as well as so that's why I was learning commissioner Beverly Hills. So public yes, that is one. I have a background as well as my own background. I was in 2007. I met three presidents. One is 6 is President Bush. In 2007, I met Donald Trump, but he's not the president. But anyway, so when I met at the President Clinton and Bush, that time we have a Florida. I think Hurricane Maria happens. We are joined National Realtor Association. We joined together. President coming there. They are working together. I was thinking that time, oh, really great president to two Democrat and Republican, two presidents coming. That time is, I think, President Obama was sitting, but all the presidents, they are working together to support those hurricane, disaster. We built it together, house. We had a meeting together, like in front of president. We two presidents talk about all things. I was in that meeting, invited the meeting, and I had a many invited meeting, like example, I had already, met President Donald Trump. I 4 times. And next month, I have February, not this month, February 5th, 16th. I invited his house in Palm Beach, Florida. We have certain people in California. We invited. So this is my 5th time meeting president. So I am like also look as a nonprofit founder, and also my grandfather was political leaders. He was independent, activist in Korea, very famous person, Yurim. He support Yurim. He bound together one of first Korean, political foundation, Liberty Labor Party. So I grew up in, my uncle was graduation, Berkeley, bachelor and master, doctor, economist, and as well as Harvard Business School professor, as well as professor in economy, professor, chair professor. He was a commissioner, traffic commissioner in federal level. And my uncle, another uncle, was a chairman in economic department in Korea, as well as the defense department Korea. So I was staying with my uncle when I was middle school, high school vacation. I always support his political activation, as well as my father and my mother is in home country, Korea. They are British farmer. I see how he management in the government. Like example, I support California water shortage. And, I have in early age, my age, middle school, high school, my father was always political, big under city and asking government to make dam. Actually, we made dam in Ima Dam, in under our village, all the become like dams. So I see how my father was a political leader in farmer industry. So I know how important in California, farm industry. So for 75% water need a farm using, and 25% only using water. So I grew up that way. And then as well as my family is all the educated. Even my family that mostly just stay in the army, like barracks, 20 years, 26 years. My brother and my uncle, as well as my older family, is there almost 20 more doctors. They're economists. One of the sample example is the success is with AQR, second largest hedge fund founder, Sun Liew, who trust in Chicago University, and he donation $20 million in Chicago University, and as by name in the youth family scholarship, and he is also trusted. And I see, and then Professor Jimmy, the John Hopkins Business School professor, as well as Andrew Yu is professor as well as the vice chair in Oklahoma University medicine, department. So as well as in Korea, many professors, many doctors and attorneys, all jurists, all the, we are very successful. And as well as my uncle, all that, my father, all that, my grandfather, all that. So we have a heritage mission to do. That's why I think I already grew up in political background. Yeah.
I see. Okay. Yeah. So you certainly, it sounds like you grew up with quite a bit of interest in politics because of your family connection there. So since you're running as a Republican in California, what do you think is going to be your most difficult thing to overcome in the next election cycle? Because obviously California right now has got Um, it's predominantly a California voting state. There are certainly, the closer to the coast you get, the more in the cities you are, the percentage of Democrat voters goes way up and Republican voters goes down. So what do you think is your biggest challenge running there as a Republican?
Well, I don't think so. I have a challenge because, like learning for office is not just the calculation of number. My philosophy to learning for U.S. Senate, I think we have each party had a different voice. Like in House, we have a father's position voice and mother's position voice. So different voice, if more strong people, more population people, because of we afraid that we don't do our own voice, this is already fair. So I know this California already blue state, like many blue state, as well as nowadays more like people, they want to investing or they want to investing blue state, make blue state. Like I saw last, use that as a, big donor. They want to make even Texas become from the red state to blue state. Nowadays, why this is really, last, their party is a civil disagreement, which is Democratic and Republican. But as I'm a candidate, U.S. Senate, I think that bipartisan is so important to issue making in Congress, as well as even we are, part of Republicans. So whatever we are part of, Republican platforms, very conservative. We are Californians, looking for affordable everyone, as well as many, many other issues is really right in Republican value, Republican identity. So, life is always changing, history always changing. Even example in Beverly Hills, District 3rd was Republican, now is Democrat. Some, district, other district, there was them, Democratic one, now is a Republican. So we have to always be hopeful to, changing the history. It's better. I think in California, wherever we are value one party and one another party, so we are focused on people's, helping people. We need to really focus on that, voice on it always. Don't stop our voice. We think this is learning for U.S. Senator or learning for any office to make voice, message, to write things. So I am not going to stop that. Yeah.
Okay. But the last Republican that was elected from California to Senate was in John Seymour in 1991. So you've got 30 years of Democrats basically running California Senate. So that's why I'm asking, what do you see as your biggest difficulty in coming in and getting people to vote for you as a Republican? Because for 30 years, they've only voted for Democrats for Senate.
Yeah, the thing is, the Democrat, they had a plan, like example, now Biden administration even allowed the illegal immigrations. They are looking for the illegal immigrations border. So we have to really build those, because of, we had election integrity. So, we should make sure that real citizens can able to vote for. But nowadays we did not know. Even they don't show the ID, they don't show anything. They can even vote for California, leaders. So we have to really build those, election integrity is so important too. So I think unless election integrity is built really clearly, because last 2019, even our great president Donald Trump was lost. He always talked about like Brazilian and, stealing those voting counting is long. So in California, we don't know, national districts, even I heard, those election integrity was missing because of, all the mail ballot, they don't know. We don't know who really
Right.
counted
Well,
it
but
or not. Yeah.
none of that has changed since the last election. So you're going to have to deal with all of that as well. In California, I believe this is the case. I don't live there, so I haven't looked into it. But I believe from what I've read, in California, you don't have to show that you're a citizen of the country in order able to get a ballot.
Yeah,
So
even
anybody can show up and just get
yeah,
a ballot
even
vote in California.
that's right. Even people they are in the army, military, but someone else to get those ballot and then they can vote. So that's the integrity. Why
Yeah.
we really need to build the election integrity. I think we should, signature verifications, ID and the photo IDs, also that's why we have the balancing prevention elections,
Yep.
to stealing. So as well as, in our county, like Los Angeles County or San Bernardino County, any county, they should really, inactivation legislation should activations in need verification, every time is data updated. But that data is not updated. That's why they send the mail all of long place. But people there intentionally, they can make to those fraudulent, transaction to any person can sign, So that's the problem. So we should increase participation voter as well as even we have many, many Republicans, even they don't vote. So that's the one another reason to we Republican does not win, as well as the independent, party as well as needed to really independent person as well as consideration really who is a Republic, who is Democrats. So they need a variable on Republican identity, Republican platforms. I like Republican platform, like I myself was independent and I become Republican. So I think we have to overcome those long-term responsibility, stewardships, California, those borrow, we have to really resource to easy legislation for voting, but with the photo ID, and we have to in person, go to those locations, more and more encourage to go voting location to show the identity instead Everson voter or instead, mail ballot. Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you get Californians to stop voting Democrat? I mean, it's a question I think a lot of people would like to know. But what do you think is going to be the best way to get people to vote for more Republicans in California?
So I think the message is important too, because so many people, even they don't know what platforms Republican have, what platform Democrat has. So we have to more like advocate to like a candidate go out and speak out to who is Republican, what is the value on Republican. I already said that the Republicans, there are like many, many opportunity creations through their platforms for family first, God first, and, business first. So we have so many Republican Party very efficiently, we can access as well as supporting many, many economic and job creations, energies, foreign policies, immigrations. All those things is not really healthcare, as well as government transportation, all those fighting, they don't really know about. So that's why we should, public should more education tool or platforms to people make decision to better vote for Republican. But at this point, they have it. But I think we need more like advocate. Yes.
Okay. And then, so I assume that's what you're trying to do with your campaign.
Yeah, I do. I always go out to speak at the party, like Republican Party. They invited me many, many places. Like, for example, I went to, even last 2 weeks, I went like about 7 meetings, go out to speech, Becca Spirit, Human Federation meeting. I went to Orange County Republican meeting. I went to a San Santa Monica Republic Party. I went to Ventura Republic Party. I went to many places last 2 weeks. They invited, so I have planned to go, more yet.
Okay, got it. And why did you decide to run for U.S. Senate rather than for a California local office, or even like governor of California, or maybe a senator of the state of California, or something? Why did you decide you wanted to run for U.S. Senate right away?
Oh yeah, that's the good question. When I met people, even Congresswoman Michelle Steele's husband, Sean still asked me. We met several times GOP meeting. I invited to their meeting. He's told me that why don't you learn local office first and then go to the go to the upper level. I will recommend you learn education board. So he told me, I say, because I understand what you say, because your wife Michelle, Congresswoman Michelle Steele, learning the low part to upper part. Until now, I understand it take like 20, 30 years. She was young starting, but I am now, when I running 49 years old, I was decided to learn to local. I learned 2 times, even Los Angeles City Council, and I was dealing with the Los Angeles issue. When I was learning Beverly Hills commissioner, that time is I was dealing Beverly Hills. And then, to my educations, my background, I am more globally because I learning fintech company. We are processing 147 country, very globalized. My major study is also global study, international, business trade. I study all the different international, as well as I trip, like example, 2-3 years ago, I went 14 different Europe country. Another years ago, go to the 78 Asian country. And not only this is first time, I've been many times in domestic all over California, domestic all over the United States, like more than 10 times because of my business. I recruiting many people and go branch out to my fintech company. And as well as training, recruiting, creation jobs. So, and as I'm an immigrant, so I have global background first. I'm more interested to solve globally because I know more global knowledge and experience. Second of all, my top priority issue that educations, educations and job creations, as well as economic growth, health system and the legal, as well as the immigrations. I am the immigration. Nowadays, more immigrations person like me understand immigrations, how difficult coming to here, make American dream come true. As an immigration, I think in Congress, need to voice more immigration voice, as well as California population is so many immigration persons. But I think the California need who represent more immigration voice. I support our great President Donald Trump, America First. But I'm also supporting America First inside had immigration because this is our country, all immigration, all the from even our ancestors from England, from Mayflower to coming here. We are all the population is immigration, all the international country here. So I think myself, I am more like can proactively be represent people at the federal level than local level. Because I have a more very special background than other people because most people they are localized represent, but I am really already God gave it to me very globalized and very domestic. In even United States, in all of place I went, either those fintech company and education, training people. So I think I am more done federal level than local level. Yes, that's why I'm learning as
I see.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So you mentioned immigration, and I'm in Texas here, and obviously we've got a pretty major issue with the number of illegal aliens crossing across the border here in Texas. And the Democrat solution is, well, let's just make them all citizens. Don't worry about who came in or how they came in. Now, you, as somebody who is a legal immigrant to this country, you had to go through a lot of bureaucracy, I would say, in order to become a U.S. citizen. Um, what is your take on what's going on at the border right now?
Yeah, in California, we are, as I'm a candidate, Republican Party, our Republican Party is really pro-immigrant. But that pro-immigrant means really immigrant, legal immigration. We are very pro and we support like ETV5. Like I'm an immigration consultant. Since I opened my company 2013, and I legal service as well as immigration. I see so many immigrations. We should, pro-immigration need more rapidly processing those real pro-immigration system. But now is we say pro-immigration, but our system is outdated. Our immigration take even family 10 year, 20 year. And as well as all processing is at least 5 years, get the green card. And so this is make people more like illegal immigrations because people even stay in America, they become easily illegally. But that's why we have to really immigration reform that make faster, visa processing, green card processing, get a earlier citizen to get the vote. Because in order to become a citizen vote, take 10 years after even green card. They have to take 5 years to be green citizen and vote. So, we should have had some immigration. Those million people, they want to make the American dreams come true easily. But we should support the immigration policy. Those are more like people come welcomes. But however, I'm against the illegal immigration coming to here undocumented illegally. Those people are million now is a uncontrolled border because of Biden administrations. There, those policies, make able to those cross all the way illegals, undocumented and uncontrolled borders make today's, sexual traffics, as well as all the, terrorists. And as well as we don't know all the criminal, we call like, I heard that Tucker Carlson show said all those people is not immigrant. They are criminals, they are illegals. So I am really fight for that. Yeah.
Yeah, and the language has been changed like it has for a lot of things. For 200 years, we did not call people that snuck through the border immigrants because they're not. What we called them was illegal aliens. And we had programs to apprehend illegal aliens and then return them back across the border. Right now, with the policy of the Democrats to simply import voters that are not U.S. citizens but will vote for Democrats, with that being their policy, they're now changing the language and then starting to call them, well, they're immigrants, just like everybody else. No, they're not. Everybody that came from other countries legally had to go through a process. They were identified, they were fingerprinted, their photos were taken. They had to wait, like you said, to get their green cards and work permits. And once that happened, you had to show that for 5 years that you were not a criminal. You weren't brought in to, or rather, you weren't a part of a criminal enterprise, that you hadn't been charged with a felony. And if you were not a criminal, then in 5 years, you could apply to become a U.S. citizen. Democrats don't want that. What they want is more votes. They don't care where they come from. They don't care what these people do. They don't care what the religion of these people tells them to do. They don't care if these people want to destroy America. They don't care about any of these things. So, I guess my question to you with that is, if you were in the Senate right now, what would you be trying to do to reduce this flow of illegal aliens coming across the border?
Yeah, first of all, I want to mention that Ronald Reagan said that a nation that cannot control its border is not a nation. So I think that is a really good word. First, we have to ensure our immigration law ahead before this happens. So if I am in Congress right now, I will emphasize that we have to ensure immigration law ahead to not allow any immigrations like today's, across on border. This is really disaster to us. So our current immigration policy, we have to really move toward feasible immigration policy. So I'll make to change those steps toward to our modern world. But all the immigration policies outdated yesterday and even not before yesterday. So we have to fix those outdated immigration policies. As well as we have the border secure. We have a right, absolutely, our country, our California residents have absolutely right to protect our border. So I will, push all the bills as well as all the power to make sure absolutely our right exercise protect our border. Same times we have to really supporting immigration policy would permit the legal entry as a worker, as family members. They must have a really reliable permit from legal system allowed to come to easily. So I will make those reform, make easy partners to come who are qualified, who are legally come to permitted America. So we have to really support those employment. I will going to more support the employment nationalized e-verification system, which is we can see those people who are legal or illegal, what, maybe e-verification, not only employee system. We have e-employee verification system, but all systems we need verify each person, not only employer systems, necessarily, systems we can access all those easily, who is illegal, who is legal, who is a real person coming legally. And we have to penalize, penalty who coming to illegally. We should have had an increased penalty overstay visas, because who someone stay in overstay or who someone illegally coming, we should give some damn penalty. But nowadays we are not penalty. We give even welcome to them, as well as who are violations, who are criminal. Even I saw yesterday in TV 3-4 like illegal immigration. They are beating police officer, but no one. They are not custody. They just go home, even that they go home. But anyway, so we have to really, those who are violation in criminal, undocumented, illegal persons, we have to really penalize or something legally need to protect our taxpayer citizens from afraid those illegal persons. So I will make sure that, those criminal violation is not happening our citizens. And then as well as we should refuse those sexual traffics, drug traffics, and mafias, as well as communists, as well as terrorists coming from. We have to make those federal laws pushing out, and then making sure our citizens not in risk. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you've heard, I would assume you've heard that Ilhan Omar did a speech where she talked about basically using her role in Congress to make sure that Somali interests are very important and are protected by America. Essentially, she's acting as somebody who is working for Somalia in the U.S. government, rather than somebody working for the state of Minnesota in the U.S. government. first of all, I guess, have you heard that? Have you seen any videos about that? It happened probably about a week ago or so that she gave that speech. And what is your opinion on that if you have?
I think, or Congress is one of, they have power to speak out, but everything is, whatever the Congress persons talk, they are unjust in everything for America first. America, justice is on America virtue, not for, other, we support as alliance to all the country. I'm Korean American. I support Korean. I understand why she support her own, entity, her own, country, or what relations, benefit, constitution, allowed it to do. But anyway, what she said or what she mentioned is it's not constitutional allowed. I don't support what she said. But anyway, everything in Congress make sure justice available to every person, not only one group, so not only one person. We support innovations, everything, all the kind of issues, all kind of things. We should, reasonably speak as Congresswoman, not only individual business, not only in one place to benefit. So she needed some balancing out to her speech and, reasonable. We have the limitations, what the Congress left to speak, justice in all the people. And then, we find the unnecessary discovery or we have to, we have to really practice well in the Congress, not with communications or, we have to favors reasonable and consistent standard for, avoid our country damages. And we should internationally and not misconduct any speech in Congress. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that makes sense. So let me ask you a sensitive question, I guess I would say, but I know it's one that people that are listening to the podcast are thinking themselves. So I'm going to go ahead and ask: do you think the fact that you have an accent in English is problematic for you from a campaigning standpoint? So even if you can do the job fine, do you think that it causes fewer people to listen to your message because you're speaking with an accent? Or do you think in California that it's really not going to affect you in any way whatsoever?
Honestly, I want to tell you, if they're borrow who speak English well, they should vote for English teacher. But English teacher, does not have like my background, right? So vice versa, if they looking for good English speaker, I'm just tired them both for English teacher. But they don't have those benefit what I have it or the background except those English. Like everyone is an immigrant. I don't want to talk about this one. Even, Congresswoman Michelle Steele, she had a hard time last election because of the another Democrat Party said, candidate said, I don't understand Michelle Steele's English.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever she talk more and more, I will win. But this is, we have to really think about, people's, there's a disadvantage and advantage. Not only thinking about English, because every immigrations, they are not perfect because they are even American. If they said, because you are not perfect English, I asked them, can you speak in Korean? Even 10 sentence, they don't.
Mm-hmm.
So, why we should balancing seeing candidate to, their heart. And even, we have a more like everything is educatable. Everything is, coachable, the person. everything their effort. We have the things is Congress as candidate, we see compassion, empathy, and track record what they have. That is more important than English skill. But English skill is so important, priority too, because we have to speech message out. But I don't think so. Because of English, mostly in the level of those candidates, I think their English, at least 90 and 95% is okay. But other party, they have more like advantage things have than other candidates. So we have to consider those advantage. If they have only disadvantage on English, I don't think so that is effective. So we should, when we elected as who are a foreign country, like immigration, we are more proud of voice of immigrant person. Like I'm immigrant, I can be voice of immigrant. I'm Korean American, not only American. We are understand all the immigration issue. I can speak of more, but someone who are from American, they speak it very well because born here, they don't understand immigration issue. They are not in immigration. So we have the vice versa. We should all the peoples need a voice out. We need all the people represent. So if the person is not really speak very well, because of English, I don't think so that is a like number one qualify or disqualify matter. So we should show that I think even understand completely, not 100%, but still like her voice, issues really fight for, her heart is really fight for. I think there is more like a value than just calculations, English speaker or not. Why don't you hire, the person who speak not good, we hire, speak coach. It's solved just a few months, but the things is building personality, building compassion, empathy, or the life story. It's not take. It's take like almost 30 years. That's what I want to say. Yeah.
Okay, great. So let's repeat one more time where people can get a hold of you. It looks like probably the easiest way is to go to sarahsenator.org. That's your website, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And then you have a contact email on there, info@sarahsenator.org. Is there any other addresses?
Yeah, I have the info at Dr. Sarah for U.S Congress.com.
Okay.
Yeah, that also. So I wish everyone vote for, right political leaders who had a compassion, empathy, and has a real voice. I am being not just one circle of the election. I've been almost 60 since 1990. Before that, even 2019, I'm learning congressional office. I learned several local, but as in my heart, my compassion, my empathy is there, as well as my effort. Here, so you can see through the website, you can see the video posting all over. But I hope, already had a May ballot. I elected to really support in California and all of the world and United States, especially in Donald. I go to next week meeting to our great president, Donald Trump. I want everyone vote Donald Trump as well. Not only Donald Trump, depends what you are choosing president. I don't know what Donald Trump, as I'm just Republican, I believe him to be best president in United States because now we have so many crises in business, immigrations, educations, health, and all of real estate law. All of, you can see at the top 5 priority. As well as I have same like Donald Trump had President Donald Trump, the 47 agenda. I have my own agenda as a candidate of U.S. Senator. And I wish you all you're watching YouTube. Thank you so much. You invited me to your show. I'm so thankful for your contribution to your show to voice out as like a candidate to me. So thank you for.
Yeah, well, thank you for being on. It's always good to have people that are wanting to push things into the right direction. And certainly politically, I think we're very much on the same side here. So again, the website is sarahsenator.org. All the other links you guys can find through that website as well. There's also a contribution link if anyone wants to make any contributions to her campaign as well. Thanks for being on.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And as always, thanks for joining me. Please do keep in mind that nothing in this podcast represents financial, legal, or medical advice.